years, really. Before we begin and turn it over to Leah, I want to acknowledge that I just heard moments ago that there was an attack in Ukraine on the memorial site of Babi Yar. And so many of your clients are probably, I see your faces. I just read, I didn't even read details. I just read the highlights, headline. But, you know, we recognize that this is a really, really, really tough time for so many of you and so many of your clients, for so many people around the world. Our thoughts are there, and there are ways that federations and agencies and HIAS and JDC that we're getting involved to help. So if you have any questions or need any support or anything like that, please don't hesitate to reach out. I don't, everything changes by the day. So who knows, what the situation will be like in a few hours or in another day, but definitely reach out and we can work together to see what kind of support we can get. So I just wanted to acknowledge that in the same light as our enthusiasm for launching this very impactful program. And with that, I will turn it over to Leah Bergen-Miller to lead us through the presentation. Thank you, Leah.
Good afternoon. Welcome, Fig Tree Cohort. It is so great to see your faces. In some cases, I feel like it's like where I've been having a pen pal and I finally get to see what you look like. So it's really great that you all are here. My name is Leah Miller, and I'm the Associate Director at the Center on Holocaust Survivor Care of the Jewish Federation's Institute on Aging and Trauma. So we're delighted that you are part of the Fig Tree Cohort. We have never had such a sophisticated and diverse cohort before. So we're really proud to be working with all of you. I also want to, on the heels of what Shelley was saying, acknowledge those of you who have been impacted by the events in Ukraine. I know this is very personal for you and your families, and certainly for a lot of the Holocaust survivor clients that we serve. And just want you to know that you're in our thoughts and in our prayers, and we're thinking of how to respond also. So for the presentation, this will be recorded, so you will be able to share this with your colleagues. We will have questions at the end. However, if you have a question as you go along, feel free to put it in the chat box and we'll save answering it to the end. And with that, we'd like to begin. So this is the welcome orientation for the Innovations Program today. Next slide, please, Abby. So on this call, we are going to introduce our small but mighty team. We're also going to update you on our expanded mission and our new programs. We'll also share the role of the center in providing technical support and grant oversight. And you'll also have a better understanding of what your responsibilities are as a subgrantee of this JF&A grant. And finally, we'll clarify the next steps and answer any questions that you have. Next slide, please. So first, I'd like to introduce our small but mighty team. Barbara, if you'd wave your hand and give us your title as well.
Director of Research and Evaluation at the Center. It's great to be here. Looking forward to working with all of you.
Thanks, Barbara. Amanda?
Hi, I'm Amanda Jarvis. I'm the Assistant Project Manager for the Center. It's great to see so many familiar faces and also so many new faces.
And we have our newest employee who signed the paperwork today and doesn't even officially start, but we'll introduce her as well. Alyssa?
Hi, I'm Alyssa Mittman. I am the new fiscal advisor, and I look forward to working with all of you in the coming weeks.
And Abby?
Hi, I am Abby Neff. I am the project assistant, and I'm excited to start working with you guys. Thank you for joining.
Carmel?
Hi, my name is Carmel Rabin. I'm a project manager for research and evaluation, and welcome.
And we met Shelley earlier, and Karen.
Hi, everyone. I'm Karen E. Deliaskowitz, Assistant Director. I'm really looking forward to working with all of you.
And so at this time, I realize that this is a very personal setting. You are sitting in my living room right now in Washington, D.C. If you feel comfortable in showing your face, that would be great for this part of the introductions. And if you don't, we understand. I'd like to hand the proverbial mic over to Abby for you all to introduce yourselves. Abby.
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. So as part of the Fig Tree cohort, we have 24 new subgrantees. So we are just going to go around and introduce yourselves. We're going to say the organization, just say your name, your title, and what city and state you're located in. So the first up is DeRote. Someone from DeRote would like to speak?
Yes, hi. Delighted to be here. My name is Rochelle Friedlich. I'm the Director of Constituent and Community Services at DeRote. We're in New York City, and a few of my colleagues are here on the call, so I'm going to pass over to them.
Hi, I'm Cindy Darrow. I'm the Director of Foundation and Corporate Giving. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Alex Jurenko. I'm also from DeRote. Nice to meet you all, Manager of Special Constituent Services.
Oh, I'm Deborah Parkinson. I'm Director of Impact and Evaluation at DeRote.
Okay, we're so lucky so many of you are here. Next is Jewish Family and Children's Service of Greater Philadelphia.
My name is Carly Brusky, and I'm the Director of the Holocaust Survivor Support Program at JFCS in Philly. We have two other folks here, David and Julia, if you guys want to introduce yourselves too.
Hi, I'm David Rosenberg, Senior Vice President for Programs and Strategy at JFCS of Greater Philadelphia.
And I'm Julia. I'm one of the case managers for the Holocaust Survivor Support Program with JFCS.
Great, thank you. Jewish Family Service of Atlantic and Cape May counties.
Hi, I'm Naomi Jones from JFS of Atlantic and Cape May counties. My title is Senior Director of Outpatient Services, and we're located in Margate, New Jersey.
Great. Next up would be Jewish Family Service of Central New Jersey.
Hi, I'm Peter Jacob, social worker.
Thank you. Dr. Stanley and Pearl Goodman, Jewish Family Service of Broward.
Yeah, I can go. So Jessica Ruiz, I'm the Director of Behavioral Health for Goodman JFS. We're in Davie, Florida. I think I have a couple people here on the line too.
Hi, I'm next. I'm David Malcolm. I'm the CEO and HR Officer for Goodman Jewish Family Services.
Hi, and I'm Barbara Weld DiPietro. I'm the Director of Finance. Thank you for having this training for us.
Thank you, guys. Jewish Family and Child Service of Portland.
Okay, I have a few colleagues on the line. I'll jump in. I'm Jen Director Knutson with Jewish Family and Child Service Portland, and I'm the Communications Manager.
I'm Missy Fry. I'm the Behavioral Health Social Worker. And I think we also have Douglas Ruth here.
We also have Sima Borsuk also is on the line. I didn't want to not have her introduce herself. I'm muting myself now.
Thank you.
Hi, Doug Ruth, Clinical Director, JFGS Portland. Nice to see everybody.
Hi, I'm Sima. I'm a social worker and I'm currently managing the Holocaust Survivors Program with JFCS. Nice to see everybody.
Awesome, thank you guys. So JFCS East Bay.
Hi, I'm Rita Clancy, Director of Adult Services. And we have offices in both Contra Costa and Alameda counties, Berkeley and Concord. And we have two people on the line, Gennady and Masha.
Hi, I'm Masha. I am Program Coordinator for all the adult services, and I work with Holocaust survivors.
I know Gennady is here. Is Gennady, are you?
Okay, I'm muted, sorry. Hi, I'm Gennady Mikityansky, social worker, Jewish Family and Community Service of East Bay. I'm working with Holocaust survivors last 6 years. I'm so happy to see all of you.
Thank you so much. Jewish Family Service of Seattle.
Hi, I'm Adam Halpern. I'm the Director of Older Adult Services at JFS in Seattle, and I'll pass it over to my colleague, Yelena.
Hello, my name is Helena Mushkatina. My new title starts today. From now on, I am coordinator of socializing programs for Russian-speaking immigrants in Greater Seattle. I work with both Holocaust survivors and non-Holocaust survivors, Russian-speaking, for around 5 years. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Young Men and Young Women's Hebrew Association of Borough Park.
Hi, we can make it easier. The Borough Park. Why? My name.
You're muted. You just muted yourself.
Hi, I'm Ellie Castell, Director of the Borough Park Y. We've been doing program for Holocaust survivors for the last 22 years.
Thank you. Elaine and James Skoke, my apologies if I pronounced that wrong. Jewish Family Service of Fairfield County.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Kanefsky. I'm the Director of Case Management at Shoki Jewish Family Service. We're in Fairfield County, Connecticut.
Great, thank you. The Jewish Family Service of Metropolitan Detroit.
Hi, my name is Brooke Chambers. I am the new grants manager at JFS in Metro Detroit. Typically, I have a lot of other colleagues on here, and I'm sure you've met some of them, but they're in all-day training today. So I'm a JFNA newbie, so I'm here to learn, and I'm excited. Thank you.
Welcome. Jewish Family Service of the Cincinnati area.
Hi, I'm Meredith Davis. I'm the director of the Center for Holocaust Survivors at JFS Cincinnati, and I have a few colleagues on the call as well. Edie.
Hi, I'm Eden Dine. I'm the program specialist for the Center for Holocaust Survivors at JFS of Cincinnati. Hello.
And Lena.
Hi, I'm Lena Zaslavsky. I'm a program specialist for Holocaust survivors, Russian speakers. Hello.
And Nikki.
Hi, I'm Nikki Stratford. I am the Operations and Administrative Specialist.
Awesome, thank you guys. Self-help community services.
Hello, what a great group of people here today. I hope we can see each other in person soon. My name is Hanan Simchon. I'm the Vice President of Holocaust Survivor Program here at Self-Help Community Services in New York. And I have with us Adina Horowitz.
Hey everyone, so nice to see you and so nice to be here. I'm one of the managing directors in the Holocaust Survivor Program, and I'll be overseeing the grant-funded programs.
Awesome, thank you. The Jewish Family Services of Greater Charlotte. We can't really hear you.
Oops, is that better?
Yep, you're good. You're good.
Okay, take two. Good afternoon. I am Rachel Green, and I'm the Director of Programs and Services at JFS in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I have my colleague Cheryl also joining us today.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Gerard. I manage the Senior Engagement Department at JFS Charlotte, working with both Holocaust survivors and just our senior adults in general. Really excited about the program.
Thank you guys. As you see, this is a huge cohort, so we're really excited. Next is Jewish Family Service of Greater Dallas.
Hello, everyone. I'm Yafa Bodvilevich-Weinberg. I'm the clinical psychologist for the Holocaust Survivor Care Program here in Dallas. And with me today is our new Director of Older Adult Services, Deborah.
Hey everyone, I'm Deborah Liebensberger.
Great, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, is anyone else here?
Jennifer Rosenberg from Met Council. Sorry, I'm late.
No, that's okay. You are coming up. You're F23, so we will get to you. After Dallas is we have Menorah Center for Nursing and Rehabilitation.
Okay, hi, my name is Olga Barbakova. I'm sorry, I'm art specialist. I working with Holocaust survivor almost 4 years. I'm from New York.
Great, thank you. Jewish Family Service of San Diego.
Hi, my name is Carol Yellen. I'm the Senior Director of Strategic Partnerships here at JFS San Diego. It's a title that sounds a little wonky, but it includes our Center for Jewish Care, On the line with us today, we have 4 other JFS colleagues, including Callie Klein, who's our Director of Holocaust Survivor Services, Tanya Livshitz, who's our Program Manager for the San Diego region, Elena Orleanskaya, who also works with Tanya in San Diego, and Adrienne White from our Grants Department. And next week, we will be adding a Program Manager in our Orange County region as well, because in the last year, San Diego included both San Diego and Orange County regions under JFS San Diego. And it looks like we also have Alona on the call with us from our accounting department. Just want to make sure we cover all our bases.
No, thank you. That was great.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Ilona Sokolinsky. I'm Grant and Revenue Manager and Jewish Family Service San Diego. Happy to see you all.
Thank you. Next is Generations Housing Initiative.
Hi, everyone. I'm Christina Vera Huntz, Executive Director of Generations Housing Initiative, GHI. We're located in Chicago. And with me today is also another GHI colleague, as well as our partners, the Habitat Company, that'll be working with us in partnership to service our older adults.
Okay. I'm Katie. I'm the Program Manager at GHI.
Great, thank you. The next is the Board of Curators at the University of Missouri, the Counseling and Social Advocacy Center.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Oliveira, the Director of the Counseling and Social Advocacy Center at the University of Missouri in St. Louis. So I'm in St. Louis. And with me today is my Assistant Director, Mary Martha Abernathy.
Okay, next would be Parker Institute for Healthcare and Rehabilitation.
Hi, everybody. I'm Lorraine Brewer, the Senior Vice President for Research and Grants at Parker, serving the Long Island regions of Nassau, Suffolk, and Queens.
Thank you. The U.S. Committee for Refugees and Immigrants, so USCRI.
Hey, my name is Carlene Hawthorne. I am a social worker with USCRI, and our field office is located in Albany, New York.
Thank you. And then the Services and Advocacy for Gay, Lesbian, Bisexual, and Transgender Elders, so SAGE.
Hi, everybody. I am David Vincent, he, him pronouns. I am Chief Program Officer at SAGE. I am personally located in New York City, and I will bounce it over to my colleague, Sarah, and allow them to introduce themselves. Sarah?
Hi, everyone. Good to see you all. I'm Sarah Street, Senior Manager for Institutional Partnerships at SAGE. I use they, them pronouns. I'm based in Maine, but a lot of our work is based in New York.
Awesome, thank you. And then now we have Metropolitan New York Coordinating Council on Jewish Poverty.
Hi, everyone. I'm Hannah Lupian from the Met Council, which is a simpler name. I'm the Managing Director of Social Services, and I'm joined here by Jennifer and Amanda.
Hi, I'm Amanda Kremer. I am the manager of our geriatrics program at Met Council.
Sorry, I have a dog barking in the background. I'm Jennifer Berg, and I'm Director of Foundations and Grants at Met Council.
Thank you, guys. And last but not least is Edith and Karl Marx Jewish Community House of Bensonhurst.
Hi, everybody. Great afternoon. This is Mike Rockman here, Social Service Director at the Jewish Community House of Bensonhurst. I'm also joined by my colleague, Maya Bornstein. She's a director of our Holocaust department. Looking forward to the partnership.
Great, thank you. So if you guys lost count, that is all 24 subgrantees. It is great to have you here. And I am going to start sharing the screen again and passing it over to my colleague, Amanda. There we go. So there are all the subgrantees. And
actually, I'll take it from here. This is Leah Miller. So first, I wanted to point you to our expanded mission. We got a new grant about a year ago, and it is to now provide person-centered trauma-informed services to Holocaust survivors, older adults with a history of trauma, and family caregivers. So you can see how our grant has expanded. It's worth noting that we received the same amount of funding to do more work. So I just want to bring that to your attention, just like all of you have. I know you understand quite well. So we achieve this mission through two different goals. The first goal is developing innovations, and that's what we really count on you for. We fund and support subgrantees to develop person-centered trauma-informed programs for older adults with a history of trauma and their family caregivers. And we also work to build the capacity of the Aging Network to increase the knowledge and skills of aging service providers to provide person-centered trauma-informed care to older adults with a history of trauma and their family caregivers. So there's a reason why we're very hands-on. We want you to succeed. We are partners with you. We work with you in concert, and that's why we collect your forms and we work with you on check-in calls to provide coaching. We really want to try to glean the best promising practices we can so we can share them broader with the Aging Network. Also, the way that we achieve the second goal of building the capacity, we have training webinars and a training workshop, which hopefully will be in person in 2023. And we also have our website that has a lot of resources and the publications that we have produced. Next slide, please, Abby. So this tells you about our expanded programs. When we started the grant, we started with one program, and that was in 2015 when I began. And now we have 4 different programs. We fund the Innovations Program, which is what all of you are part of. We've had different cohorts throughout the years. So we started with Alpha, then Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo. Now we're at Fig Tree is what you all are part of. So it's part of the Innovations cohort. And you all know all about this from having written your application. The other program that we have is the Promising Practices Program. So 8 former subgrantees from the Innovations Program who had exceptional outcomes were selected to continue their programs for Holocaust survivors and family caregivers. I'm going to call on my colleague Karen to explain the Expanded Critical Supports Program. Karen?
Thanks, Leah. So the Expanded Critical Supports Program provides funding to 8 Jewish federations to convene local agencies to develop strategies to provide coordinated PCTI emergency support services for Holocaust survivors, older adults with a history of trauma, and family caregivers. The National Network Program, there are 3 subgrantees in this cohort, including NJHSA, Beit Tzedek, and now Habitat for Humanity International. These are national partners who have local affiliates across the country, and they provide different supports, but sometimes through technology, through training of pro bono attorneys for legal assistance, and for Habitat for Humanity to provide PCTI training for staff and volunteers for home modifications. Next slide, please. So here we have a small example of the grants that we support. Because you can see, we support programming in 21 states across the country, ranging from urban areas to rural areas. And we've put some statistics about the numbers we have served in different categories from the years 2016 to present. Next slide, please. So this shows sort of the continuum and our grant oversight. We are the liaison between the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Administration for Community Living, and Administration on Aging. We will refer to that agency as ACL. And it's our responsibility to be good stewards of these federal funds. We do this by sharing information to ACL. We send programmatic and financial updates to them, and we have monthly calls with our ACL program officers. At the end of the program, we're responsible for showing that we met the goals of the grant, and you help us do that. Your success, it's our success. Next slide, please. So to do that, we provide a variety of services and supports to help you succeed. So we do individualized coaching on our check-in calls, which we will be doing quarterly. During these calls, you'll have the chance to share your accomplishments and progress toward achieving your goals, as well as your challenges. We want to help better support your work. And so when you share challenges with us, we can link you to others in the cohort who may be experiencing the same things or help you get to best practices and solutions. We also conduct site visits, which have been on hold because of COVID, but we will be resuming them in the coming year. We do training workshops, as Leah mentioned. We are planning our next one for the spring of next year and hope that it will be in person. As we have more information about that, we will get it out to you as soon as we can. We will offer 2 national webinar trainings this year, and those will be mandatory. We will send notices ahead of time about when those will be, so you can mark your calendars. And lastly, we have evaluation consultations, and those will be done on our first 2 check-in calls with members of the programmatic and evaluation team. So here's Amanda to go over the next section.
Thanks, Karen. So as a way to measure our impact on the broader Aging Services Network, the Center conducted a national and baseline survey when we first received the grant from ACL. We are currently working on the 3rd rendition of our website. Through our website, you can find publications and recordings, as well as PCTI trainings. We recommend starting with some of our webinars for a great intro into PCTI and other resources. We recommend checking out a PCTI 101 webinar that we have, as well as the impact of trauma on the body and the brain. Next slide, please. As Karen indicated, because we are funded by ACL, we have, as a condition of us being a subgrantee of ACL, we follow certain ACL guidelines. To touch on just a couple of the points here, religious activities are not permitted through the ACL grant. Since the public dollars from ACL are funding your work, the work that you create through the JF&A grant will be public. You will receive credit for anything you create, but it will become a public document. Next slide, please. I'm going to pass this over to Abby.
Hi, everyone. So this slide will show you your responsibilities as a subgrantee. So the first one is to abide by the JF&A cooperative agreement. You should have received your signed cooperative agreement. Please read it so that you are familiar with your responsibilities. The next is webinars. As my colleague Karen mentioned, we are hosting 2 webinars this year. All subgrantees are encouraged to participate in these webinars. The third is check-in calls. You will receive your check-in call schedule soon. The next call is a group orientation evaluation call on Tuesday, March 15th from 2 to 3:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is required for at least 1 representative from your agency to participate in this call. On this call, you will learn how to develop a person-centered, trauma-informed evaluation strategy for your FIG3 programs. The following 2 check-in calls will be individual check-in calls with your organization, our evaluation team, and your project manager. This will also be on the check-in call calendar that you will get. So forms, it says complete forms. Here is a list of all the forms that are required throughout the year. They help us keep track and analyze promising practices to share with our other subgrantees and be good stewards of grant funding. I want to briefly show you the library of forms. No, not next steps, escape. Hold on. Okay. So this is our library of forms. These have program resources, policies, and reporting templates. I first want to highlight at the top is the FIG3 calendar of due dates. We encourage you to add these to your personal calendars. These include the due dates of all the reporting forms. Here is the check-in call calendar, which has the dates of all the check-in calls. We also encourage you to look here and add this to your calendar. We will be sending the links for all of these later, so don't worry. And then these are the policies that Amanda described. We do encourage you as well to become familiar with these. So under reporting templates, for your convenience, all the reporting templates are here just to see all the information that is collected throughout the grant period. All of these are due throughout the year and not at once. So we are going to go over the first two reporting templates that are due. These are the program participant report and the quarterly spending report. These reports will cover the period of March 1, 2022 to March 31, 2022. We realize that this is an unconventional quarterly report deadlines. We are lining them up with our deadlines for our other grant programs. We understand that you will have little data to report at this time. It will be good practice for you to learn the reporting templates. Just answer the questions honestly with all the information you have available. You can reach out to us to have questions. Again, okay, so this is the program participant report. As you can see, the first part of the form is instructions and agency information. I'm just going to go through it a little slowly for you guys. You'll get much more information on how to fill this out. On this form, we are collecting the number of participants in your programs. We understand that you will still be launching your programs and might not serve any clients for this month, for this reporting period. And if that case, that is fine, just write 0. Okay, then the next is going to be the quarterly spending report. So we first collect the agency's information and how much you've spent during this period. It's a brief form that captures how much you spent during the reporting period. There is also a comment section if you need to explain anything further. Again, the first reporting period is March 1, 2022. So from today until March 31st, 2022. After that, they will be normal reporting periods of every 3 months. Okay, Amanda, back to you.
Thanks so much, Abby. So for our next steps, we have some things that we need from our new cohort. The most urgent of which is to please update the JF&A cohort contact sheet. Please update that by the end of this week. If your name and email address is not on the cohort contact sheet by the end of this week, you won't be able to receive our correspondence going forward. So you're really going to want to make sure that everyone you want to receive correspondence from JF&A is on that cohort contact sheet. Please review the due date calendar. I received a question about reminders. We do send out reminders before items are due. And as we mentioned earlier, it's important that you scan the online library of policies and forms. You will receive that shortly. Next slide, please. So now we open the floor to Q&A. You can either raise your hand or send a message to the chat, and we will get it to as many as possible. Abby, you can stop sharing your screen so that we can all see each other. Thank you so much. So let's see. Let's start with some questions. If a question came in, if new staff start after this week, can we add? You can always add to the cohort contact sheet. That is the cohorts to update and keep maintained. If someone leaves your organization, you can remove them from the list. If someone is added, you just add them. It's a Google spreadsheet doc. It's very easy to maintain, but please feel free to reach out if you have any questions about it. Any other questions? Yes, Elena?
Hi. How to access this site that you just showed us with forms and policies. Maybe I missed something, but I will appreciate if you send it again.
Of course, you didn't miss anything. That's a great question. We will send a follow-up email with some more pertinent information you need, as well as some links to the items that we showed you today.
Thank you.
Yes, Brooke?
I had a question. I saw that there were like some due dates for the spending reports and the programmatic reports in the cooperative agreement. Are those the dates that are in your report? What I haven't seen the file where like the due dates are yet from the website you just looked at. So I was just wondering if those were the same or not.
Those dates should be the same. I would make sure that you record the dates that are on the due date calendar, but they should match each other.
Okay. So does that mean like the spending date, the spending reports and then narrative reports will be like on different dates then?
So the first two, like Abby said, is the program participant report and the spending report. And those, while the reporting period covers basically the month of March, just for this first one, it will be due at the end of April. So we basically give you a month past when the report is past the reporting period for you to actually write the report and complete it.
Okay. Okay. Makes sense.
I don't think we've ever been so clear. We have so few questions.
Does anyone else have any other questions for us today?
I just want to confirm then the promising practices Q1 spending and participant report is due at the same time as this first report for the Victory.
That's correct, Rita. So we ended up, that was our whole goal. We have 4 different programs now. And so we wanted to try to line up all the deadlines because it was making us crazy. And I'm sure it was making you crazy of having different deadlines for different programs. And so that's why the first quarter is wonky, like what Abby was saying.
I just wanted to ask a quick question about products becoming public right through this grant, as it pertains to we are having our survivors create legacy books for themselves. I would assume because it's specifically client focused, they are able to sign off onto whether those materials get shared because of client confidentiality. So you're talking more about like flyers and things that we would create versus the client product itself. Is that correct?
That's right, Carol. We want to run a person-centered trauma-informed program first and foremost. So the idea is if you created, let's say, a training, that training would then be public because it's being paid for by public dollars. However, we hope to see what the Holocaust survivors create, but if the Holocaust survivor feels like it's very personal and they don't want to share it, we would not make that mandatory to share.
Great, thank you for the clarification. We have definitely budgeted to try to share some of those materials with you on the back end, but obviously, as you said, we want that to be client choice driven.
So maybe like the template would be great to share, even if you didn't share the bio data or what's personally filled out. In fact, we never collect bio data. We never want a Holocaust survivor's name, or we never want the birth date. We never want the client number. We aren't even interested in ever seeing that information.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. If the first, and I understand, the first reports are for March, I get that, to be consistent. But if I did the calendar right, then do we have like 5 reports and the last one is just January and February? Because every quarter has 3 months, typically.
We'll send you the calendar of due dates. I think it'll spell out, it'll be easier for you to understand when you see the reporting periods and the deadlines. I don't have the deadlines in memory right now.
Okay,
so I'm happy to send it to you later.
Okay, thank you.
But it will even out. It will be 3 months.
No, yeah, I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
I'm a numbers person. I like to see. Thank you.
Okay, I have another question.
Yes.
I'm curious to know what is the focus of other grantees programs So my question to you, is there a list with brief descriptions of which organization focuses on what because of this grant? It's more about networking. I want to know if someone is doing something similar to our organization and to exchange experiences.
Yelena, like usual, you're a step ahead of us. You asked such a great question. So we are compiling, you all completed executive summaries when you sent us your grant applications. We're compiling those executive summaries and we'll share them out with the group.
Wonderful.
Also, we, on our check-in calls, for those of you who have had check-in calls with us before, we're really listening in to see themes. And so let's say that one place is having a cognitive health program and another place is also running a different cognitive health program. We'll try to, as I say, matchmake you so you can meet and exchange ideas. Or maybe you have a completely different program, but one place has an excellent outreach strategy and another place is struggling to get participants. We'll matchmake you to try to figure out how you can work with the other agencies. So yes, we will share that list and we'll also make sure to get you in touch.
Wonderful, thank you.
Are there any other questions today?
This is Rebecca Konevsky from Shoki Jewish Family Service. And one of the questions I had is, first of all, it's so nice to see everybody again and to get a chance to work with you again. I feel like I never left, so I'm really grateful for this opportunity. And are there affinity groups that are going to be formed? I know that we've been doing so many affinity groups through the NJHSA, and I didn't know if there's any of that kind of collaboration.
Rebecca, that's a great question. So for those of you who don't know, the network of Jewish Human Service Agencies pulls together a lot of the Jewish network social service agencies together and has these smaller groups that have different themes and topics. And so if you are part of NJHSA and want to participate in those affinity groups, they're really terrific and it's a great place to exchange ideas. But we realize that not everybody in this cohort would fit into that category or is a member of NJHSA. We do have webinars throughout the year, and during the training workshop, we have breakout groups. Right now, we do not have on our agenda to have smaller discussion groups because we ask so much of all of you in general, and we have check-in calls in general. So we didn't want to add more to the requirements or more at this time, but it is something we can consider if there are many people interested in the future moving forward.
Thank you so much, Leah. It's just, as you know, you always gave me such great ideas of which other agencies, like you just said to the other question, which other agencies were good partners for my questions. And I ate it all up. I reached out to every single one of them. And so I just think it's a nice way to answer questions on an ongoing basis.
It makes it one of those times where I really wish that this was in person right now, and that would have facilitated a lot of that. But I hope to bring people, we hope to still at least virtually bring people together for the coming year.